Alright, straight away recording. Good morning, guys. Another day, another dollar. You join us on day 2 of another Adventures with Neil and Jen. Hope all is well with you guys. Sorry for last night, for last clips you saw of us. We were literally completely out of it and
yeah,
drunk.
so it's the first time we've had a proper night out. We just sort of all went all out basically. So yeah.
So you join us today as we head on up to, and Jen's drinking her monster. Join us on day 2, like I say, as we head up towards Whitby. We're jumping on the bus today, so
yeah, we're just heading there now. A nice little walk, and hopefully I don't throw up.
Because we haven't had any food yet, so
no, and I'm really hungry, but
and we've got an hour.
I'm hungry.
And we've got an hour and a half journey till we get to Whitby.
So we're gonna try and get some food, get on the bus, and then we'll show you some of the scenic route on the way. Because we're going to sit at the top of the bus like we said before.
If we can.
Hopefully we can. And then, hold on, I'm trying to cross the road. Yeah, so we'll yeah, oh my God, what am I saying? So yeah, we'll try and sit at the top of the bus. There's some really amazing views up there. Yeah, we'll show you the rest when we get on the bus.
Guys, we've just made it into Whitby, not Whitby, Scarborough, ignore me, it's called rushing. We've got our mask on ready, we're just about to board the bus up to Whitby. It's probably about 45-minute, 50-minute journey, but then we'll be able to get lunch and then we'll try and do another time lapse here.
Yep, see you later.
Soon.
Hey guys, so we've just made it to Whitby, just got off the bus, a bit of a cloud, but hopefully it passes by. Just come to have a look at this little station. It's absolutely tiny, look. Literally only 2 tracks. It's cute. Pretty cool. Hi. yeah, so we're just going to go for a little walk. Get your mask on. Outside.
We're in a station though.
Oh, that'll be funny. Yeah, so we're just going to go find some lunch now because we're quite hungry. And then we'll
show you about Dracula.
Yeah, because we're going to start doing our little hobby now. So we're going to show you some information about Dracula. But we're going to get some food now. So we'll see you after.
Bye! So this is the harbour's area where most of town's business is conducted. Across from here, directly below the church, which is behind, as Jim is pointing out now, is table stands. As you can see, people walking, and Jim will follow me. Where the dementia carrying Dracula and his coffins full of Transylvania soil runs aground.
No, it's only about 5 minutes. That dog having a look in the water.
So this is the actual area.
Is that up there?
Yeah. This is one of the first stages on our adventure lab. Join us as we get to stage 2. Join me as we join up these steps. Let's go.
Great.
Come, Jen. We can do this.
Go on, off you go.
Let's just head this way a little bit and see what we can see.
Oh wow. Wow.
What a view. Let's look more this way. Come on. Sorry. So as we come into the view, you can see Whitby Abbey up on top of the hill, Whitby church as well. Heading down towards the town, you've got the Whitby station in far distance. You've got the Whitby floating bridge that's no longer able to be used by cars.
It's beautiful, ain't it?
It's absolutely beautiful. So join us as we head further up the hill till we go to the next Dracula location. We'll see you in a second. Oh, so hi guys, so we are now in Royal Crescent Terrace and the gardens as Jen's showing you behind. These gardens, hopefully you can still hear me, the gardens were developed by a guy called George Hudson, who also built the train line to Whitby that we started off at the beginning of this journey where Jen showed you. It led to boom to its tourist trade, but then the terrace stopped when he ran out of money, so then he couldn't extend any further to Middlesbrough. Jen's laughing at me for some reason, I do not know why. I'm not rapping. Bram Stoker, as people know from being Dracula, and his family stayed in Royal Crescent on their Whitby holidays. They actually stayed at number 1 Royal Crescent, which is over that way where I'm pointing, as we take a wander over. So this is where if you know Dracula books, where he has Minor and Lucy take rooms in their novel, and I'll read the quote from the novel so you guys can know. And this is the quote: "In one scene, Lucy retires to bed with a headache. Mina takes a night's walk along the cliffs. On her return, I threw a glance up at our window and saw Lucy's head leaning out. She did not notice me or make any movement whatsoever. Just then, the moonlight crept round an angle of a building and the light fell on the window. There distinctly was Lucy, her head lying up against the side of the window sill and her eyes shut. She was fast asleep, and by her, seated on the windowsill, something that looked like a good-sized bird. I ran upstairs. but as I came into the room, she was moving back to her bed, fast asleep, holding her hand to her throat. Yeah, so
wow.
we are going to go over to number 1 Royal Crescent, just behind us, and you'll be able, we'll cut from this bit, but we'll meet you over there. See you in a second. So guys, as we're going to quickly do this because we're right outside someone's house, and we don't want to be too rude and interrupt, but if you ever come to Whitby and you want to see the house, this is number 6 Royal Terrace, as Jen's pointing the camera quickly to. And outside there is a plaque to say Bram Stoker did come here, but obviously we don't want to get too close and intrude because there's actually people in the house. So we're not going to go that far, but join us, we're going to go for the next stage. We'll see you in a bit. So sorry guys, I gave wrong information previously. Jen's just deleted the footage, so I do apologise. So we're at the top half and the benches on a thin grassy ridge between Kyber Path and the harbour. Harbour's literally just down there guys. Bram Stoker enjoyed this panoramic view from here into town, across the East Cliff and out to sea, along the piers which in his day ended up a lighthouse. The lighthouse is just across to my east. From here you can see many locations used in the novel as described in Nina's journal. As previously said, I will now read another excerpt. This is a lovely place, the little river which runs below us, which is the Esk, runs through a deep valley which broadens out as it comes near the harbour. It's so steep that when you're on the highland, you can look right across to it like we can now, unless you are near enough to see down. Houses of the old town, which are underneath us, are all red roofed and seem piled up one over the other. Right over the town is a ruin of Whitby Abbey, which is directly in front of us. Over there, a most noble ruin of immense size and full of beautiful and romantic bits. Between it and the town there is another church, round which is a big graveyard, all full of tombstones. Headland descends so steeply over harbour, part of the bank has fallen away. So we are now, our next stage is going to be at the 199 steps, which you can see just in the far distance, hopefully, where people are climbing up, and that may be a bit difficult to see them. But we will now descend down across the water, across the Red Bridge, which Jen is pointing out now, hopefully, and then we'll cross over onto the other side of the bank, through Whitby Town Centre and up to the 199 steps, and we'll meet you at 199 steps. We'll see you then. See you soon. So guys, we've just come down the stairs, so I do apologise that this is just going to be a quick shot. Behind me is what I was describing on top of cliffs out for red roofs. So you can see how old the houses look, as well as the view across the top bank. So I just quickly thought we'd show you this. We'll see you. So take 2, sorry about this guys. So we are at the Whitby steps, which are just behind Jen. There is 199 steps in total. You'll see us when we get up to the top. And Jen's face, she don't want to do it. We may want to rest on a bench when we get up to about halfway, but they were originally used as coffin rests for pallbearers pausing breath on their way up as they took the coffins up to the top of the cathedral. Excerpt from Dracula as well. Mina runs up these steps, which Jen is about to do when rescuing Lucy, who she has seen asleep on a graveyard bench. From the cliff opposite, there on our favourite seat, the silver light of the moon struck a half-reclining figure. Snowy white, it seemed to me as though something dark stood behind the seat and bent over it. What it was, whether man or beast, I could not tell. I did not wait to catch another glance, but flew down steep steps to the pier, along by the fish market, to the bridge where me and Jen have just walked. The time and distance seemed endless, and my knees trembled. My breath came laboured as I toiled up the endless steps to the Abbey. It seemed to me as my feet were weighted with lead. As we take the 200 steps, and Jen will be running up them.
We'll see about that.
We'll meet you at the Abbey.
I'm not recording halfway. I'll let you know what's at the top.
Yeah, and we'll see you from the next stage. See you soon.
Go.
No respect. Sorry, we've got kids running around who are not showing respect to graves, so we're telling them off basically. who runs over a grave of a dead person? It's just really disrespectful.
And that's why I personally will not turn the camera around, because I have respect. I don't want to show it. So I'm only going to point it on Neil and the view behind him, because I don't want to be rude. So
yeah, so what better way though, as I'm reading the information on my phone, so this is where I've been getting the information from, hopefully you can see it. I've got an S20 Plus as well. So it's got what better setting for a Gothic novel than this old churchyard. We're perched on the cliff edge, and as Jen perches behind me,
yep.
With the Abbey ruins behind me as well, or to the left of me, that way.
Sorry, I'm going to have to do it quickly.
Just
to show you.
If you can visit on a full moon, just imagine what it looks like on a full moon up here.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
On certain Halloween dates, they actually show the movie Dracula in Whitby.
Ooh.
And they actually do it on, you're standing on the grave. And they actually do it, show Dracula at the Abbey, which is behind Jen, which Dracula's modelled on. So if you can read it, all better. So this was, going back to the articles that we've been reading, this where we are now was Mina's and Lucy's and Stoker's favourite daytime place to sit. View the town, chat to the locals and write their letters and journals. So this is also where Lucy comes when sleepwalking. As we walked up them 199 steps, Jen didn't run up them, we walked up them. So as Mina runs up the 199 steps to rescue her, when I got, and this is a quote, when I got almost to the top, I could see the seat and the white figure, for I was now close enough to distinguish it. Even through the spells of shadow, there was undoubtedly something long and black bending over the half-reclining white figure. I called in fright, "Lucy! Lucy!" and something raised her head. From where I was, I could see a white face and red gleaming eyes. Lucy did not answer.
Ooh, creepy.
So, and this is where it was all filmed and writ. So if you find what we've spoke about today interesting, make sure you get the book Dracula. It's a very good read. I believe Jen hasn't read it either, but I think Jen's going to be getting the book and reading it, aren't you? She's actually nodding. I know you can't see it, but she's actually nodding.
It sounds really interesting. I love that type of stuff.
So we are going to complete this adventure lab now and head back downtown. You may not see any more footage from Whitby today. We'll let you know. If not, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the page, turn the notifications on. We're going to do day 3 tomorrow, which will be uploaded when we can. We've got 4 days of footage coming. This is day 2. We've got 4 days of footage to come. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn the notifications on and ring that bell. We'll see you soon.
See ya!